Hi, this is a spreadsheet that's going to help us determine the dollars that we've spent in research and development projects from 2012 through 2015. This is important because we can revise our tax returns and get a tax credit of about 6.5 cents for every labor dollar that we've spent on R&D projects. And we spend a lot of money on labor and R&D. Let's just say that we've spent $5 million over the past 4 years. That could be a credit back from the IRS of $325,000. Now, the definition from the IRS of research and development is much more broad than you might expect. It really is better defined as innovations. Now, these innovations can be in terms of saving money or innovations in terms of making our process more efficient. So we want you to complete this spreadsheet as thoroughly as possible and then return it to Dick Still when you have completed it. Now here's how to fill it out. Start by just putting your name in the upper left-hand corner. Then down the left side, you'll see a number of the projects that we've worked over these years. If you know of additional projects, down here at the bottom, you see there's space to add in additional projects, and you could put that in if you know those projects. Now, what you want to do is we're going to be making best estimates of the number of hours that you've spent on the projects for these various weeks. And you'll notice that most of the projects have at least one green cell in them, and those are basically some accounting data that are going to help you give you an idea of the timeline of the various projects. An example, for the guard shack construction, you see the start date was the week ending 1/7 of 2012, and then the ending date was the week ending 5/12 on 2012. What you want to do is, if you've spent any time in any of these projects, say for example the wastewater treatment project, way down here you see, I'm going to slide to the right. You can use this to move to the right. Right here there was a 25% down payment back on 10/13 of 2012. Well, it may be that you were in the planning process of this way back here, and that's fine, but you go ahead and you just click on the week that you know you started doing some work on it. And let's say that week you had maybe 16 hours that week, and then you had 20 hours the next week, and so on. And even this cell here, it's green because you see every time you put a number in here it turns green. And since I put zeros in here, it turned green. But if you worked on that week, and let's say you worked 12 hours that week, you just type right over it, okay? And then even after a project's finished, I'm going to move way on over to the right. So even if this was the ending of the project, you may be working weeks after that. That's fine too. Again, this is accounting data just to try to give you an idea of the time frames. Now, what you'll also see is as you enter data, up top here it starts adding up the total times per week. So if you worked on a couple different projects, say this week, and you were working on this project, maybe you think 10 hours, this one maybe 5 hours, this one you're working 15 hours, and this one you're also working 12 hours a week on that. You see that this week it's turned red, and what it does, it's going to turn red if it's above 50 hours, just to give you an indication that, hey, maybe there's an issue here, maybe you need to back off on some of these hours. And if you worked 62 hours that week, that's fine. If you typically only work 40, 50 hours, then you need to just keep track of that. Then, so anyway, go through each one of these projects, try to make your best guesses of the times, the hours that you spent per week, and put those in here. Then you want to save this spreadsheet, and you'll want to email that back to me. Also down here at the bottom, the very bottom, you're going to see that there's a roll-up on a yearly basis of the hours you spent each year. So you see those numbers rolling up. Later on, I'll put in the various salaries on a yearly basis, and then those two numbers will end up yielding us an R&D expense for you for those various years. So if you have any questions, you can email me or call me, but that's what we need to do to try to get this information. Thanks.